First, I'm going to use the vine charcoal to play with the composition. I'm going to just freely put it somewhere over here. After you put it on the paper, you would have a better idea how it should look like, to see where you're going to put the whole face, how other elements is going to work together, deliver your impression. We're not doing measurements yet because you don't know where is it, how big is it. So working on the composition and take a look at how the shoulder, if the chin over here, the shoulder would be around over here. Come up with something really excites you. The vine charcoal really good tool for you to just play with the idea. If you go into the compressed charcoal, it will be very difficult for you to make changes, being spontaneous. Okay, it looks like I'm gonna make the face even a little bit smaller, like coming up a little bit more over here. Let's take a look. And just play with it, draw a little bit loosely. You see how the balance would work out for you. Okay. And also working out how the background would work, will play into the composition. So I'm gonna squint your eye. Just imagine at this point, you're actually doing the artworks in your mind. Have something good enough in your mind, and then you are going to recreate the ideas to the paper. Okay. Like that. And on this side, I'm gonna make this a little bit darker. May not be this dark. So I may have a little text over here. Like that. And maybe a little bit suggestions. Okay. This is a drawing study for a new watercolor painting. Okay. Alright, I think I got something really excited. The idea is already here. So I'm going to blend it, and then I'm going to come into, now in this point, I'm going to make the eye over here a little bit darker, right, like that, and coming to the cheek over here, down over here a little bit darker. And the vine charcoal is very easy to manipulate changes. So we're gonna have the mouth over here, the chin over here, and like that. And coming to the neck over here, the shadow. Alright, this is good. Now I come in with the compressed charcoal pencil and the eraser. Now let's first take a look. I'm going to make the nose over here a little bit darker too with the eraser to create a highlight. So now the idea is already there. That's good. Now I'm going to come into with this soft charcoal pencil. This is a medium charcoal pencil. And this one is extra soft. Okay, I'm going to start with a medium charcoal pencil. So now I know the top over here. Now I'm going to draw a little bit more defined shape. You get to have a time for your feeling involved. That is just the playing time. So this is the edge of the face. Okay, now the face coming down, and this would be the bottom of the chin. Give yourself the freedom just to draw, just to play with it, and we're going to come back to do the adjusting and correction, and also include measurement. Okay, and this side, and coming here this way. Sometimes some motion, we want to enforce it. Okay, here's the side of the face. And a little line over here. Here you go, like that. And now looking at the hair over here, I'm going to have it come out a little bit. Sometimes you can exaggerate it. So looking for the big shape, how the big shape work together. Find some of the accents, special interesting features. You want to emphasize it and even playing other elements around. So the face is about tilted this angle. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, now I'm going to have the shoulder on this side. Here you go, like that. Find out how the things connected. Okay. Lots of those texture would be considered smaller details. I would do that a little bit later. So the hair coming down like this, and that's good. Now take a look on this side. I think this shoulder a little bit lower. Okay, I think the shoulder can get a little bit wider. Okay. Okay. I think this can come in a little bit more over here. Okay, now I'm gonna come into the overall connections already confirmed. Now I come in over here to take a look at the face. And it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, and the top over here coming down to here. The top of the eye, it will be halfway from the top over here to the chin. So I'm gonna take a look at where is the middle. So I'm gonna draw it on the stick. I'm gonna take a look and where should be the middle. I think it could be over here. So I'm gonna double check with that. And this is the half. Is the half point? No, a little bit more over here. So this is half. Yeah, this is a half. So now I can put it back over here. So this is half. This, the half point from the top of the head to the chin, the top of the eye. So I make sure I get the angle correctly. And this is like that. So we're gonna continue checking. So the eyebrows, it will be right about here. That's good. Now let's take a look. From the eyebrows to the chin over here, the halfway, that is the nose. So I'm gonna find that right here. So step by step, getting that corrected. Okay, now this is the nose. And from the nose, coming down to the chin, I can see that the middle point is above the bottom of the lower lip and a little bit lower than the bottom of the lower lip. So bottom of the lower lip would be right here. So there is a shape for the shadow right underneath here, like that. And from here to there, halfway up, that is the middle of the upper lip. Okay, here you go, like that. And a little bit lower, 1/3 is about the line between the upper lip and the lower lip. Okay, the corner is about here, the corner is about here. And we're gonna continue checking. So the chin underneath over here is about this much, like almost divided into half. Okay, like that. So let's come back over here. One thing we have not checked, that is the width of the face compared with the height. I'm gonna try do it a different way. I'm gonna take the width of the face. I'm gonna rotate it from the chin coming up just a little bit higher than the eyebrows. So from here to the chin, it goes the width of the face. So here you go. So this on this side, I'm gonna say set it on this side. I'm not gonna change it on the left side, like this. So coming on to here, that's perfect. That's what I was planning. So this is the width of the face, like that. So that is double checking is correct. That's good. Okay, now we can move forward to the next step. Let's take a look at from here. It looks like the eye is about at this corner over here. And this corner is just the other eye on this side. And between this and there, we can divide it into 3. So this would be this eye and the middle of the 2 eyes. And here you go, like that. That's the corner of the eye, right over here. Like that, coming around. That's easy. And take a look on this side. That's the eye, that's the location for this eye. And the iris is sitting right in the middle here. Let's take a look at the location of the eye vertically. I think this one's a little bit too high, so I'm gonna have this coming down a little bit. Just use the needle eraser. Some member saying the eraser's difficult to erase the charcoal. It actually is pretty easy. You just do it maybe just one more time. It should be just work. Sometimes you give up too early. Okay, like the corner over here. Now take a look on this side, a little bit lower, like that. The corner of the eye right over here, like that. That's good. and this iris a little bit bigger, like that. Okay, take a look on this side, and under here can be a little bit lighter, so I'm gonna also correct the size of the eye. And here you go. The eye's location already defined it, and now the next thing I'm gonna double check with the angle of this corner of the eye to the corner of the nose. It's about this angle. So I'm gonna have that about over here. This is the corner of the nose. The nose very much as the same width as between the two eyes. So this side of the nose is about over here, like that. So you can see the angle of this is about right. It's very important when you try to find something, focus on that area. Okay, don't look at other places. Just focusing on finding that you're looking for. Okay. So I get the location of the nose, and I think this is right. I think the corner of this eye can come in a little bit. Okay, that's good. Let's take a look at the corner of this. I'm going to compare this with the nose, and look like it come out a little bit, this corner, like that. That's good. And now coming the corner, the whole line need to be in this angle, so coming down a little bit, like that. Okay, there's the corner. I think the corner coming in a little bit closer to the center of the center of the face. As I think this come out a little bit too much, but I can't use this shape as just to catch the shadow. Okay, like that. There you go. Okay, that's good. Now take a look at the shape under the cheek between the nose and the mouth. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna make it a little bit softer, but looking for the shapes before looking at the transition. It's very important to find the shape and make it look more as light and the dark shape. Okay, take a look at the cheek over here. It's coming a little bit rounded, coming on this side. And I can make this shape to be a little bit darker. Now we're moving on to the next step to find the value of each shape. Okay, take a look on this side. It's coming down over here. That's good. Alright, that's good. The chin over here, coming on this side. Here you go, connecting to here. Now the right underneath over here on the neck should be a little bit darker. So I'm going to just use a group of line and different angle. I'm going to softly blend it together. You don't have to over blending it, and I'm going to have this a little bit lower. Take a look. The neck, they catch the shadow coming like this. There you go. On this side is a little bit darker. So you can see a portrait drawing and start from a very, very simple shape on the outside and gradually coming in to find the proportion. But the proportion need to be after how you would like to have the whole face, or wear the whole face first before you going into do the definitions of the shapes. Because the shapes sitting inside, you need to know where exactly the face before you're going into divide them. Let's take a look at the here over here and that this area actually halfway from the top to the eyebrows. So I'm gonna have you go. Have some few line to suggest the movement of the hair. Okay. Here you go. Now I'm gonna have this side a little bit darker. It's the whole area. The paper I'm using is Strathmore charcoal paper. So it have lots of texture. Can hold the charcoal pretty well. Okay. I'll take a look. The corner over here. I'm gonna have this. Look at the angle of this coming more on this side. Now make the turn. Here you go. Now I'm gonna have a few lines. That's good. Always try to determine where is the darkest area. So you don't need to make everywhere so dark, and you don't want to make every areas they always have dark and light everywhere. Compose together as a whole picture, compare together. It's not just each area become independent. Okay. And then have this a little bit lower, this shape. So I'm gonna remove this and have a little bit lighter shape. Like that. That's good. Here you go. Now coming here, have a little bit moving. That's good. Here you go. Now take a look at the side over here. I'm gonna do one double check to see the width of the shoulder compare with the height of the face. I'm gonna take a look. I can have this come out a little bit. So this would be the turning point. Like this. Here you go. So this is a little bit more correct. Everything you can compare, there is called comparative measurement to find out the ratio, the relationship of that. Okay, now coming on this side, it's coming down like that, and then now I'm gonna have this fold over here. That's good. Now this is how we start a portrait drawing. Okay, and this. Alright, now come back to do some adjustment. To see this is the right value in the entire drawing. And that looks really good. Now at this point I want to focus on the form of the whole head, not in a smaller area. I want to make the form to appear to be rounded. Okay, it's very important. Okay, use the nitty eraser. This needs to be a little bit lighter, not very light. I want to form the impression that the hair actually there's a highlight on this side all the way coming this way all around, so that it's showing the head actually rounded. Create a big form, the big impression is very important in the early stage, and you're going to keep that check through the process. So okay, here have a little bit lighter. Yeah, that's good. But this is not the brightest area. Okay, that's good. I'm going to come in over here to look at which is the lighter area of the face. The lightest areas would be on the nose, and right in the middle over here. Okay, like that. That's good. Now has been defined. And then on the cheek over here can be a little bit lighter, but it's not as light as is the middle of the nose. Okay, see how those values connected over here can be a little bit lighter. And slowly, after you clear the relationship better and better, and it would look, the lightness, it would come out. Okay, like that. There you go. Now, like that. And on this side is showing the edge of the face. I'm going to make it a little bit lighter. That's good. And the forehead in this area, a little bit lighter. Like that, a little bit lighter. That's good. Okay, at the edge of the eye over here can be a little bit lighter. Okay, the lower eyelid, a little bit lighter here. Now I'm gonna looking at down over here. I'm gonna have this a little bit lighter. Okay, now I'm gonna come back with the wine charcoal. I'm gonna have a little bit adjusting. So I'm gonna make this a little bit darker. Have that some little texture like that. I'm gonna add that here. That's good. And I'm gonna take a look at on the outside the background. I'm gonna make this a little bit darker. So have a little texture come out, and also connect that to the hair. And maybe on this side, I'm also going to have some texture like that. Create a cohesive feeling is very crucial, very important in the process. So that's good. I'm gonna keep that over here on this side and maybe have this a little bit lighter. So use my finger just to remove that a little bit. Now this is good. So our next step in the process, it will be go inside to define the details. Okay, and the shoulder over here, I'm gonna remind that that's coming up over here. That's good. Now I'm gonna working inside the eye. I'm gonna come in with my medium charcoal. Okay, here you go. Take a look at this eye. take a look at the detail. Now we're looking at inside how this small line going, how the small line look, and iris, and come in like this. That's right here inside this eye, and coming here, and that's good. And the whole iris actually a little bit darker, so I shade it a little bit. And inside the eye white is not really that light. Okay, it's actually in the shadow. So I'm going to take a look at on this side. And above the eye over here, I'm going to remove the little shade. Like that. That's good. You need to have patience and observe it, comparing. And over here, there's the eye line above here, and I'm going to make this whole area a little bit darker. This is the shadow. Okay, that looks good. Now take a look at the lower eyelid right over here. Okay, that is the inside. There is this pupil. Okay, take a look at the shape of the whole iris. Now take a look at this eye. Okay, this is right in the right place. It looks good. It's not too low, not too high. Okay, take a look at inside the iris. You can push that a little bit more toward the left side. There you go. And coming a little bit lower. That's good. There you go. That's the corner of the eye. Like that. And take a look at the iris. And then the top over here, and the iris a little bit darker. And there's the pupil right in the middle. Now I'm going to take a look at this whole area is actually shadow. Like right over here, it's in the shadow. You can draw the shape down over here. And this is also the shadow. And also on this side, I said also in the shadow area. Okay, take a look at the eyebrows. Take a look on this side, the eyebrows, right over here. Okay, that's good. They're coming all the way in under the hair. Okay, this is a bit darker, whole area. Okay, that's good. All those hair on the forehead, they also have catch the shadow. Okay. That's good. I want to have this a little bit middle tone. That's good. this side has a little triangle shape. Make this a little bit darker. They actually make it look more interesting, have more depth. So I decided to keep it. Now, okay, I want to take a look at the detail of the nose. First, take care of the whole shape. I'm gonna come back with the medium charcoal. Okay, take a look at that. Take a look at this, the shadow underneath the nose. There you go. There's to catch the shadow. Like that. That's good. Now come into use the extra soft and give a little more definitions under the nose here. That's good. And also going to lift up a little bit for the reflected light under the nose. Right, that's good. And the top over here, a little bit softer. Like that. That's good. On the side of the nose over here, I just need to use the eraser to make it a little bit lighter. So define the separation. Use different value. Okay, that's good. Let's take a look. This is a little bit softer. Coming over here, a little bit lighter. And take a look at the lower eyelid. Like that. And have the little eyelid over here. Give a little highlight. Like that. That looks good. Here you go. Let's take a look at right under here. There's a little small light shape. So you use your eraser like a drawing tool. You draw the lighter shape. After you have the correct contrast, you got the correct structure. Okay, that's good. That. Okay, now the drawing getting better and better, closer and closer to the end. Now I'm gonna have the soft charcoal pencil on this side. I'm gonna have this a little bit darker and gradually coming in a little bit lighter and lighter. But at this corner it's pretty dark. I'm gonna have this a little bit darker right over here. I'm gonna have a little line couple line like that. Okay, like this. A little shape over here. There you go. I'm gonna group this together to make this a little bit darker. But this probably a little bit too dark, so I'm gonna use a light, my clean finger, just come over here as we can lift up some charcoal. Make it feel a little bit lighter. Now, alright, I'm gonna come here to define it a little bit better. I think this come in a little bit. This is a smaller shape. Now our attention now going into a smaller area. And I think that's maybe a little bit too dark. So I'm gonna just use the eraser to just lift up the charcoal. Just tap on it and it will make it look lighter. Like that. Okay, that's good. Okay, now I'm gonna have a little light shape. Just use it a little bit lighter so create a contrast. Okay, now on the edge over here, a little bit lighter. Okay, now take a look at the corner. We already have a shape here. Now I'm going to refine the shape a little bit better. As you go. Now inside over here have a little darker line. As you go. Now take a look at the upper lip. Over here, coming over. That's good. Now take a look at the lower lip. I have a little bit darker area here, but not very dark, just showing a little transition. So that's good. And at the bottom over here, also a little bit darker. But you don't want to make everywhere has really dark and have very light. You need to fit into the big picture. Okay, like that. That's good. Now I come in to use the eraser. I'm going to use the eraser here to have this. It's not really light, but first I'm going to create a contrast. And then I'm going to turn it down to a little bit dimmer, like that. That's good. Now underneath over here, I also have a pretty light contrast. So I have this a little bit lighter first, and then I'm going to turn it back a little bit darker. Now you can see the contrast has been created, like the corner over here, and make it a little bit lighter, and then put it back a little bit. And now take a look at the lower lip, and I'm going to make this a little bit more clear. Now I'm going to come to the lower lip. I'm going to make sure I shape the nitty eraser a little bit sharper. And now I'm going to just come in over here, have a little bit lighter on the top here. That's good. Now make it a little bit smaller, like that. Under the chin, I'm gonna have a little bit lighter. But you don't want to make it too light, otherwise it will pop too much. I have this a little bit lighter as for the reflected light. Now let's take a look at the corner here. I'm gonna use a medium charcoal. I'm gonna come here to define this. Over here, up a little bit. That's good. And also at the bottom of this shape, has a little bit sharper. So I'm gonna have this, make it a little bit lighter, like that. Now turn it back, come back a little bit. And now that's good. I think this can be a little bit softer, so I lift up the charcoal. Have the transition a little bit softer, like that. And right under, have a little bit darker, right under here. Now showing the this, and now I'm gonna have this look like a little bit darker over here, like that. Okay, this is good. Now I'm going to have the make the bottom over here a little bit clear, because that is the edge of the catch the shadow. So that's very easy. We're using the similar technique again and again. Okay, like that. Okay, that's good. Now it's nice shape. I'm gonna have this some little edge over here. I'm gonna show a little bit. That's good, a little bit. And that is a line over here coming down. There you go. Give a little definitions. There you go. That's good. All right. There you go. Just draw the shape and fill in the value. There you go. All right. Coming over here, give a little bit more definitions. Otherwise, this is going to be lost. And take a look at this whole shape for the catch the shadow of this. Okay. And under here has catch the shadow. I'm gonna draw this area is the catch the shadow. Now I'm gonna add the necklace. Okay, there's a little shadow side. Have that. Here you go. And this is the outside. And then take a look at. Okay, just draw the shadow. Now I'm gonna come with the nitty eraser to make this a little bit lighter. That's good. Sometimes very simple, like a little lighter on the top. Then this drawing is finished.